Hello everyone, welcome to the Street Crime UK YouTube channel. Thank you for joining us. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more exciting true crime content. Today we look at a professional liar who previously tricked people into believing he was an Al-Qaeda insider and has been jailed for his role in a £1.1 million eBay scam. Hassan Butt, 38, duped thousands of customers out of money by advertising high-value electronic items via the online auction site, but never delivering the goods. Using a business called Me Genie, which he ran from his home in Sheepfoot Lane, Prestwich, Mr. Butt falsely advertised gaming consoles, iPhones and iPads. It's believed that Butt conned around 3,000 eBay customers in the run-up to Christmas 2014. On Friday at Manchester Crown Court, Mr. Butt shouted "liar, liar" as he was sentenced to 13 years for multiple fraud offences after being convicted of fraudulent trading following a trial. The court previously heard that in 2014, Me Genie began selling Christmas jumpers and a small number of low-value electronics. Prosecutor Laura Barber told the court that the account's previous positive rating facilitated the fraud that Mr. Butt later went on to commit. In September 2014, Me Genie began to list high-value goods and their account was temporarily frozen for a formal inspection of the business to be carried out. An accountant attended the Manchester premises and met with Mr. Butt, who managed to convince her the business was legitimate. He was then allowed to list more high-value goods and began advertising them using fixed-price option on the auction's website. Mr. Butt claimed he recruited more than 2,000 jihadists to attend terror training camps in Afghanistan and Pakistan. In 2007, he wrote he had left the British jihadi network of which he claimed the July 7th bomber Mohammed Sadiq Khan was a member. He went on to hold talks with former Security Minister Tony McNulty, who he said absolutely loved his ideas on reforming radicals, but when giving evidence as a witness at Manchester Crown Court in 2008, Mr. Butt said that everything he had told the press were lies and agreed under cross-examination that he was a professional liar. After being arrested by Greater Manchester Police following his latest arrest, he told officers he had never met Sadiq Khan and he did not know his name until it became public. His latest scam came to light when customers began filing complaints when their purchases were failed to be delivered, and Me Genie was made subject to an eBay investigation. Miss Barber told the court that not one order from Me Genie was ever sent and PayPal were forced to reimburse customers themselves. The court heard that withdrawals were made to the Me Genie bank account from a UK IP address, and the money was then transferred to a bank account in Dubai. After discovering Mr. Butt had previous links to Islamic terrorism, a senior investigator for eBay and PayPal feared that the £1.1 million may be used to fund terrorism. A subsequent Metropolitan Police counter-terrorism investigation was launched, but passed on to Greater Manchester Police after they became satisfied that Mr. Butt was merely a fantasist. His web of lies continued when he told officers from Greater Manchester Police that when he returned from a trip to Pakistan, his entire stock had been robbed. He maintained throughout the year that he'd been the victim of someone else's criminality until he was convicted by a jury earlier this year. Officers from GMP were never able to recover the money and PayPal remained £1.1 million out of pocket. Sentencing Mr. Butt, Judge Anthony Cross QC branded the con man as someone skilled in the practices of fraud and deceit. "I am satisfied from all that I have seen and heard that you are a man who shows not one single jot of remorse. At times you seem to wallow in your dishonesty," he said. "I find it almost impossible to decide when you speak whether or not the truth is falling from your lips. You are indeed a man who has woven a complex tapestry of deceit throughout your adult life." In addition, Butt was also convicted of fraudulently obtaining £47,000 of loans and credit. When questioned by the leaders, he repeatedly claimed to have been the victim of identity theft. Separately, he was also convicted of a £6,000 online fraud in which he ordered high-value products including iPads and gold bars before falsely obtaining refunds by claiming the items never arrived at his address. Hassan Butt is a serial fraudster and liar whose actions in scamming money online of thousands of eBay customers ended up costing the website over £1.1 million. Mr. Butt tried to pin the guilt on his business associate who had left the UK, but the jury did not believe his story. A second man, Tawib Amin Dar, 35, a business associate of Mr. Butt, who is also from Manchester, was convicted of fraud and ordered to complete 200 hours of unpaid work earlier in the hearing. At the same hearing, Mr. Butt was sentenced to 4 years in prison after pleading guilty to using false names to help himself and others avoid multiple speed camera prosecutions. He admitted providing false information for 18 speed camera offences between 2011 and 2015. Mr. Butt used false names but always the same address on Copthall Lane, Manchester Manchester. Since 2007, there were 66 speed camera offences across 13 different force areas linked to Mr. Butt. The same cars were caught numerous times, including an Audi Q7, an Audi A6, and a Mercedes and a Porsche. Forensic analysis of the notices linked Mr. Butt to the scam, and he was arrested. He had been disqualified from driving for 5 years upon release from prison. What do you think about Mr. Butt's crazy £1 million eBay scam, especially scamming 3,000 customers on the run up to Christmas?
Thanks for joining us today. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a like and a share, and leave any thoughts or suggestions you have in the comments section. We love to read through them all. And if you're new but enjoy UK true crime content, then subscribe to see when our newest video releases. And as always, stay safe.